Welcome everybody to episode number 2 of Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. I'm the journalist Sincere, and that's my partner, Uncle E. How's everything going?
Great, man. Great. Really looking forward to this episode, man.
No doubt. I'm still on cloud 9. I was like a little kid last night in a candy store watching two of my favorites go toe to toe. Before we get started, I just want to say it was great for the culture. Great to see these two guys still, going at it after all these years and still looking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. They both still look good. Like Big Daddy Kane hasn't lost a step, man. Still looking sharp, smooth as always.
Almost looked like he had a 2021 cameo cut.
What? I thought he might come out with that high top fade, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
And KRS came out as usual, right? Like we said in the first episode.
Right. Well, whenever you come out with a windbreaker from your past 12 concerts, the same one, you might be in trouble.
And the same hat, bro. It switches between the white and the black, but it's the same hat. Man, but you gotta love it, man. Wait, okay, so let's, if you don't mind, I just want to start off by saying this. So Kane came out as expected, right? Smooth operator, fedora, KRS came out as expected. Not flashy, ready for war, always ready for battle. So we started off right. I love the energy that KRS had. It was typical KRS-One fashion. Same thing with Big Daddy Kane. The smoothness and everything is what was expected, right? So we started off great. I love the beginning, how when they were introduced, KRS comes out, then they introduce Kane. Kane's not coming out right away. KRS in battle mode. He's like, oh, he's scared. Hiding in the dressing room. Come on, put the music on and let's get going. And got right into it. So start, I was all in.
Yeah. KRS-One started with Criminal Minded. Is that correct?
Criminal Minded, yep.
You think that was a good way to set the tone?
Yeah. I think I had South Bronx, I believe. I thought he might come out with that to set the tone, but why not come out with your first, the first cut off your first album? That was great. Kane surprised me.
Yeah.
I thought that he would do that song, and I figured he would do it early. I didn't think he would start it off with that one, Rhyming with the Biz.
Yeah, it made sense, to pay tribute to somebody who put him on in the game. You know what I mean? He probably wanted to get that out the way. So I get it out the gate. I'm not mad at that song choice. So, I seen what the perspective was of him choosing that. I probably had something much different, like Set It Off, but we'll get to that momentarily. So Criminal Minded, Kane comes out with Rhyming with the Biz. KRS-One comes back with Still Number One.
I like that.
Setting the tone.
Yeah. KRS was not playing, man. He came out like very little talking, right into the music. He engaged a couple of times with the back and forth, but and you know what I loved about him? He kept coming out smiling every time. Smile. He was having too much fun with it, man. Too much fun.
And why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Yeah.
So before we go into like the play-by-play, I just wanted to ask you this. So we all know the setting of Verzuz, right? Typically it's song for song. They changed it up. They changed the rules up a little bit for this one.
Right.
They threw in, I think what was supposed to be 15 songs, something like that, and then they were going to freestyle back and forth, right?
Right.
They also mentioned the DJ battle.
Right.
So I just want to mention this because I kind of missed. I saw there was a young lady and a gentleman that were doing DJ battle.
Yeah.
I kind of missed that. My stream was acting up a little bit. It didn't. I don't know. It looked a little suspect to me.
It was very, and I don't think they even got to finish. Like they probably was like, man, this is a bad idea. And it was supposed to be like a competition. Whoever won it was like won $1 million and got to do all the verses.
$1 million?
$1 million, and they got to do all the verse concerts, be the DJ to go on that tour. So it's like the young lady and the guy, I think he was out of Jersey, they started it off. It was pretty shaky. But after that, man, I didn't hear any more mention of it. And it was like they were the only two. I would imagine for $1 million, you would have had
A whole bunch, right? At least.
yeah, a battle. You know what I mean?
So the reason why I want to bring this up is because I was a little confused when I saw that they mentioned about a DJ battle, right? And then I saw the two DJs that were announced, DJ Scratch and Kid Capri. So I'm thinking that that's the battle.
Mm.
So, at first I'm like, Kid Capri's not really that type of a DJ the way Scratch is. But I figured, Verzuz, it's an entertainment, right? It's a show. So I said, you know what, this might be fun. At least it'll be entertaining to see Kid Capri and Scratch go back and forth. And I've seen them perform together, right? And they do their little, sometimes they even do like a routine together. So that's what I was expecting. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was just like, what
Yeah.
The last minute changes threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I think some of the transitions, could have been smoother, and the objective could have been smoother, because I think a lot of people were confused. I was watching it and I was just like, what is, what's going
happening?
on?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it looks kind of like they rehearsed a little bit, but not fully.
Right.
Not fully. But all right. So I just want to, because like I said, for those that maybe never even saw Verzuz, you can understand that usually it was 20 songs, song for song. For this one, they changed it up a little bit. It's supposed to be like 15 songs and like what was it, like 5 rounds or something like that of them going back and forth, freestyling. And then it was supposed to be a DJ battle. Well, Scratch and Kid Capri was supposed to go at it at some point as well. Right. Everything got a little discombobulated. It was like songs, freestyle,
right,
trying to get at Kid Capri, but that. So all right. So where are we?
We're at still number one.
Still number one.
Yeah. So I had mentioned this on the last episode. The forgotten track from the Juice soundtrack, Enough Respect. Kane comes back with Enough Respect. I was pretty happy with that choice. I knew it was coming at some point, but out the gate. So I think, I think we were talking off the record. I think Kane was trying to let his ammunition kind of, spread it out a little bit. So
spread it out. Yeah. I think, you know what? One thing this did, I didn't know how it was going to turn out, right? At first, I'm thinking KRS destroys Kane record for record. Now, for me personally, I'm a big KRS-One fan, so I'm probably a little biased on everything when it comes to this. But for me, Kane was too predictable. So for the most part, he threw some curveballs in there,
right?
But for the most part, he's kind of predictable to me, meaning like the songs he's going to come out to, what he's going to do. KRS, on the other hand, even though we somewhat know what he's going to play, but he did throw. I didn't expect him to do Jimmy, right?
Black Cop.
I didn't expect him to do 9mm.
I think me and you both forgot about Out of Here.
Out of Here, we didn't mention. He did Poetry. Now, there were some songs that when we were making the list for the first show, I had like Poetry, right? But I didn't put it down. There was a lot of songs that I didn't include because I was kind of being, I guess, trying to take it easy for Kane, right? So I left a lot out that KRS actually ended up playing. So that was pretty dope.
Right.
Another point I want to make before we continue with the playlist.
Yes.
And tell me what you think about this. I saw a lot of comments as far as Kane goes, where they said, some people were saying Kane won because he came out, his delivery was impeccable, right? His articulation was on point. And then they were comparing it to KRS-One, where he kind of came out and, with that yelling and
I've seen a lot of comments saying he didn't have good breath control.
Good breath control, the crowd participation. Some people were saying like, oh, he didn't know the lyrics. So I don't agree with that.
No, not at all.
In my opinion, not in my opinion, but if you've seen KRS do a show, even for 5 people, that's his style, right? He's amped up. He's always ready like that. And he's always doing the crowd participation thing.
Right.
Always. Kane, on the other hand, that's his style. He comes out, they both came out with the way that they are. in the way that they perform.
You think it was the crowd's fault not being so into it? I seen a lot of comments about the crowd was dead, and I couldn't really get the full gist of the crowd participation.
I don't think so. I think that for us, the viewers, we might not have been able to appreciate it that well because we're not there. So we can't hear. But I mean, there was a lot of times that you can hear the crowd reciting everything that KRS was doing.
Right.
Was there points where you couldn't hear it? I would say yes. I don't think that they weren't doing it. Unfortunately, you can't beat the experience of being there live. You know what I mean? Us as viewers, it's the price we pay for not being there, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure even a golf game is better in person than watching it on TV.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
right.
So I just wanted to kind of make that. I saw a lot of comments about that, and I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. If you know a KRS show, that's what he gave.
Right.
And for Verzuz, I don't think you should change it because that's what you're there for, is to do your show and entertain.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm loving that Kane stuck to the script. He didn't really delve too far from the first two album.
Yeah.
I don't know who coached him or who told him. There was a few moments that had me scratching my head, and we'll get to those on both sides. But for the most part, like you said, yeah, Kane was definitely predictable, but he knows what type of area he has to play with and keep the crowd entertained as well.
Right. So where are we? Let's see. We did number one. He comes out, he does the Young Gifted in Black.
Yeah. Enough Respect, and then KRS comes back with MCs Act Like They Don't Know.
Right, which I had that.
he was on a tear. I mean, this first 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 songs.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Back to back.
And then after MCs Act Like They Don't Know, Kane comes back with Young Gifted in Black. I think he called that one.
Right. Yep. I did say he would play that one. I wasn't too sure, where he would fit that one in, but I like that.
KRS would come back with the MC / Out of Here. So he kind of did like a medley, a 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm. A little quick slap up.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And then they got to talking about the soundtracks like we talked about. If he comes with.
Yeah, I didn't expect Kane to come out with his first though. I thought it would be the other way around. I thought maybe KRS does Jack of Spade and Kane has that in the reserve for it. But yeah, Kane was ready, man. I mean, he came out ready to battle. You know? He didn't hesitate. He actually played a lot of songs that I thought he would leave for later, early. So I was surprised at that.
Right. Everything's making sense up to this point. After Jack of Spades, Kane comes with Set It Off, another fan favorite.
Not bad.
A great response is My Philosophy right after that.
Mm-hmm.
A great response after that is Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Kane songs.
Right.
One of my favorite. I mean, I like all the hits, the obvious ones, but Mortal Kombat, I think, might be my favorite. Especially for just because of the energy. The beat is ridiculous. Forget it. And but it's see, that's the Kane I like. You know what I mean? Like to me, the smooth operator, all that is cool. And I like that. But when Kane gets raw, man, that's what had me a little nervous when they introduced the new rules and said that they were gonna go, with that freestyle back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous. Because as much as everybody likes to say that KRS-One is that he's really ill with the freestyles. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna. To me, he's a little questionable with the freestyles. He's nice.
Yeah.
He's nice, but I was gonna give Kane the edge if they were gonna go freestyle for freestyle.
Right.
So that had me worried as far as who might come out on top. Luckily, they didn't really stick to that format. So.
Yeah.
So where are we at? Okay, so which one was next after that one?
This is where I started scratching my head. After Mortal Kombat, KRS-One comes with Jimmy.
Yeah, I didn't think that
I
was the right time for that.
Nah, not at
No,
all.
not at
Not at
all.
all.
I
I
don't
love the
even.
song, you know what I mean? I love the
Yeah.
song, but it just wasn't the time and the place.
No, I
It was
didn't.
definitely a curveball. The first, like I said, 6, 7 tracks, they're going at each other. You know what I mean? They paired up and said, "Hey, I got a soundtrack cut for your soundtrack cut."
Right.
But then we go into Jimmy, and then Kane says, "You know what? I go to work."
Yeah, right. Kane definitely won that one. I mean, the appearance by Red Alert, um, that was cool. If they were keeping that kind of going back and forth, I would have loved, and I think I said this in the first episode, but if he does Jimmy and brings out Red Alert, I would have loved for Kane to do calling Mr.
Mr.
Welfare.
Welfare, right?
That would have been
Yeah,
it would have been fun to see how it played out, to see the expressions and just to enjoy it. I mean, not for nothing, calling Mr. Welfare is not a bad song at all. That's another one of my favorite King songs.
right.
Um, I would have liked to see that, you know.
And I know at some point they're scratching their heads like, damn, we could have, you know what I mean? There was just
Right.
a few moments they could have capitalized off of and made it even more spectacular than it was.
Right.
After I go to work, KRS-One comes back with Part-Time Sucker.
I like that one. I like that. That's a good like I said, Keras has a lot of those answer back type of songs. So I could
Right.
go. That wasn't bad. I like that. That was one that I
Uh,
didn't expect them to do.
Not at all, not at
Yeah.
all. And even though I said it in the first episode, I by no means thought it would happen. The Pimpin' Ain't Easy with Nice and Smooth. I knew they would
I'm
want to
not
be a part of it, but it made me happy. But at the same time,
I'm not a fan. I don't like that song, man. I never really liked that. To me, it's kind of an annoying song.
got you.
I don't like the
Of
chorus
course.
part of it. It was great to be able to bring Nice and Smooth out,
Right.
to have that song so that they can make an appearance. That was cool. But it didn't do it for me, man. And I wasn't, I don't know what Smooth B was, what was he channeling with
His inner R. Kelly, Prince.
Prince or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he's been wild. He's been wild lately.
Listen, they're one of my favorite groups, so I love Nice and Smooth. Always did.
Right.
Right. It was okay. It was cool. It was
right.
cool.
It was definitely a surprise moment. It was great seeing them.
As far as the song goes, though, he lost that one, in my opinion.
Lost that.
Yeah, Pimpin' Ain't Easy is not my thing.
Right. KRS-One comes back with Black Cop / Mad Lion. Take it easy.
Okay, so now if we're talking about, okay, you brought out Nice and Smooth. They are classic and everything, but as far as, in my opinion, which one had a stronger impact, I'm gonna have to go with KRS on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mad Lion coming out. That see, I'm with that rah, like come on. So Mad Lion has that voice. He has that presence to go right along with it. So to me, Nice and Smooth, Mad Lion.
Ain't no telling, Nice and Smooth probably pressured Kane into letting them come on for that particular cut. You know what I mean?
Probably, maybe. But again, it's just the energy didn't match up. Like it was just like Nice and Smooth, like, oh, that's cool. They get to do this. What did they do? DeWick, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which was cool. But when's the last time you've seen Mad Lion? You know what I mean? When's the last time you've seen him on stage? When's the last time you've seen him actually performing with Carol? So that was a little bit more impactful for me.
Absolutely. And
definitely
took that.
Take It Easy. I love Take It Easy. So
right. What better way to come back from that round loss than to come with RAW?
That's a no-brainer. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And man, I'm sorry, which one? one of the songs that Kane did, I think, or was it Warm It Up? Did he do Warm It Up, Kane, at this point yet? Not yet, right?
Um,
Let It Roll.
nah,
I can't.
that was like almost last. That was after the symphony, actually.
So Set It Off.
Set It Off was
I think it was right.
Set It Off, Set It Off. Oh, Set It Off was right after Jack of Spades.
Yo, how is it that at this point in Kane's career, at this point in life, at his age, this dude was damn near doing like jumping jacks while he was saying his whole verse.
He looked great, man. He looked great.
I mean, and not out of breath, jumping up and down while still saying. I'm telling you, man, I hope these young kids were watching this, especially these up and coming artists or whatever established. That's what you call the whole package.
Longevity,
man.
No doubt.
Longevity, the whole package between the both of them. Showmanship. You know, I know some say that KRS didn't have the breath control. I just say that was just his style of performance. I mean, how can somebody that made a song called Breath Control not have breath control? But whatever.
Right.
Kane, but like I said, showmanship, lyrics, energy, presence. I mean, the whole package of what us coming from that era considered to be a whole package of an artist was on full display last night.
Full display.
Yep.
Let's see. After Raw, DOS Effects come out, as you called it.
I like that one. That was the song that everybody was even. A lot of people forgot about that song. A lot of people were thinking.
I did it as well.
And some were thinking that it was a DOS Effects song, but that was off of KRS-One's album titled KRS-One, which I love that song. And I'll tell you why I liked it so much at the time was because I don't know if you remember, but remember there was a little bit of something going on with KRS and DOS because of something that KRS said. I forgot what song it was, but he kind of it was like he took a shot at the style that DOS Effects had. And then they came back and did that song. So I was just like, oh, see, that's cool. So that's why I appreciated that song, besides the fact that to me it's dope.
Right.
And then what did they do? They want effects.
Yeah.
Right? So that was cool.
Somebody said in the go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I like how they talked about they're ready for a Verzuz.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to mention. Somebody mentioned in the comments that they were maybe setting up a nice and smooth versus DOS Effects. Would you like to see that one?
No.
But does DOS Effects have a catalog to do Verzuz?
I didn't think Kane.
Got a point.
I mean, DOS Effects, man, listen, I mean, think about it. Their first album, tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's cuts off their second album that were good. But then also you got to throw in, you know, the stuff with
EPMD.
And so I mean,
yeah.
I think they have enough to make it interesting. My thing more would be, who do you pair them up with? Nice and smooth. I don't.
That's not gonna create what happened last night.
No.
You could probably do a nightclub with Verzuz with them.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't garner a great you know, attention to that particular.
No,
you know.
I don't think Nice and Smooth. I could be wrong. I don't think they have the same. The edit to me is just too different. They're too different. Like, I mean, I know we said that about Kane and KRS, but I don't know. I was thinking about that last night. I don't know who DOS Effects would be a good matchup with. Because I don't
even think they would entertain DOS Effects. You know, Swiss and Timberland wouldn't entertain a DOS Effect. You know what I mean? Like,
because what duo do you put them up against?
Right. You know, the next duo would have to be somebody of a De La Soul stature, you know, somebody up there with hits. But even who do you put up against De La? You know what I mean? I don't see Tribe.
I was going to say Tribe and De La would have been awesome, man. That would have been.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. You know, but with it just being Q-Tip, I don't know if he would entertain. Yeah, I mean, it'd be dope.
It would, but it would kind of be tough to watch without Fife. You know what I mean? There's just too many. it's
Memories.
too many songs that
Too
he
many.
would have to perform and Fife's not there. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. So where are we right now? We
Real
Das
hip
Effects
hop,
comes
DOS
out.
effects, and then
Mhm.
Kane comes out freestyling over Keep It Thorough.
Keep it which freestyle was that?
Prodigy. The Prodigy, Keep It Thorough.
Right,
Kane
right,
comes
right.
out. So
I
that
like
was
that
kind
one.
of a yeah. It was cool. You know,
It was
he caught
cool.
me off guard. Is this you think his moment of going, okay, I'm running out of material. I need to stretch it out a little bit?
I don't know now, honestly, because I I think on Kane and Scratch's side, they were trying to stick to the script more so than KRS was. You know, I saw somewhere that they said KRS didn't know or wasn't aware that they were supposed to do like the freestyle part, I think. So that's why, you know, he kind of came out and did a freestyle. And then later he kind of came out with he came out with one hard one, man. He came out with one that he dropped some bombs. So I think they were trying to stick to the script a little bit more.
Right.
And you could kind of tell by Scratch, right? He was, you could tell Scratch was like trying to get that battle in. He was trying to get
Yeah.
that thing going with Kid Capri, which again, I didn't understand it at the moment. I didn't, it, to me, they could have left that part out. I think you know, or it should have happened more naturally. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not
I
so
think
much like,
it
okay,
just seemed
here,
like
this is our time. Like,
it seemed like Kane was trying to keep a certain tone of peace. You know, Scratch was in battle mode, and Kane was kind of like, nah. We're not gonna do that. We're
that's why
not
I didn't
doing that.
understand it. That's why I didn't get what was going on. You know, because
Right.
it seemed
I
like
think
Scratch
things
was,
kind of changed in the middle of the game somewhere.
yeah. I think Kane just kind of felt the moment, man. I think he was in it. Maybe he felt that doing that was kind of putting, you know, it's like you're out there playing and you're hot, you're shooting threes, you're making, and then the coach tells you, you know, come sit out for 2 minutes. You're
Right.
like, nah, man, let me in. I'm hot right now.
Right.
I don't know though. That's just how it seemed from watching it, you know, as a spectator.
Right. Exactly. Kane comes back to back after the Keep It Thorough freestyle with Smooth Operator.
It was okay.
Expected, predictable.
Expected. Now at that point, I feel like Kane is like, okay, let me kind of bring this back into my lane. It was cool. It was cool.
KRS-One drops Step Into a World.
I was waiting for it. I
Yeah.
was waiting for that. And I
And
think
you
we
even
thought
called the dancers, the B-boys.
the only thing we missed was the graph in the background, right? That's all we needed to have all the elements, bro. But
Right.
I was waiting for it. Besides the fact that it's one of my favorite cuts, I wanted to see. I wanted to see, is he going to bring the breakers? Now, this part I like a lot. He had Fable on there, right? Everybody knows Pop Master Fable. He was out. That was a great moment in itself. And the fact that he let them rock while he did the song, but then he let them rock after that too. So they,
Right.
you know, they had a little moment, and then Kane brings out Crazy Legs.
Man. Yeah.
That was cool. I like that. I loved it, man. That part, great. Great for the
Dope.
culture. So you had the DJs up there, you had the breakers, you had the MCs. Great moment. Great
Couldn't
moment.
ask for too much more, you know what I mean?
No. And I love the fact that it was on this platform, right?
Right.
Millions of people watching, young people, you know, it that was great.
Yeah, it forces the younger generation to go back and do their homework. You know what I mean?
Forces them to do their homework, and who knows, man, maybe even be inspired.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Be
Yeah.
inspired and seeing the dancing and everything. So that was perfect. I think on both ends. Kane comes out. He, you know, like I said, he brings out Crazy Legs and Tata. I don't know the other gentleman's name. Um, so to me, right there, even. I got both of them even right there.
Neck and neck at this point?
I mean, as far
Or
as
just song? Okay, I got
right. Moment for moment,
it. Right.
that's a tie. Well, uh, okay, we'll leave it at a tie because they both rep for the culture. Song wise, KRS for me, but
Right. I think overall, up to this point, all the songs, I wasn't disappointed at
No,
all. You know,
except for Pimpin'
um,
Ain't Easy.
Pimpin' Ain't Easy. Well, I called it, but did I really think he was going to pull that off? Not at all. Not at all. I just said, you know what? I think Nice and Smooth, because they've been around a lot lately on Instagram and doing a lot of shows. So I said, you know what? They're probably pulling his coattails, saying, "Man, we got to do this." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Why not?" You know what I mean?
Definitely.
After Step Into a World, looks like the Wrath of Kane.
Good one. That's another
Very
good
good
one. Yeah. Good comeback. Kane, like I said, I don't know who put this playlist together, but honestly, they did a very good job.
Probably Scratch.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure Kane. I mean, Kane. He who else would know his stuff more than Kane, right? But
Right.
they did it. I think they did a good job. I didn't.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it wasn't going to be as close as it was.
Right.
So that was good.
KRS-One comes back with South Bronx.
Good one.
From there, we get Ain't No Half Stepping.
It was good.
We knew it was coming. We didn't
Right.
know when.
Right. But you see what I'm saying as far when we first started about, for me with Kane, it was just, it's very predictable. It's very, did it have that oomph?
Right.
I don't think, now something else I want to touch on. I feel there's two different type of crowds for the type of verses that we saw last night. I think you have people like you and myself and the older cats that come from that era, right? And then you have a certain crowd that maybe just know the music, some songs here and there. So for them, everything is like a wow. Oh, he did this. They haven't maybe seen Kane perform too much or care. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's kind of like a first time experience for them.
Right.
For somebody like myself, for example, I've seen Kane perform a bunch of times. I've seen KRS perform. When you go to a Kane show, again, you kind of get those songs that he's going to do. When you go to a KRS show, he does have his go-to songs, but you're not going to always hear, like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I didn't expect him to do 9mm last night. I don't even know if I've seen him perform that song.
Right.
So even though it's not like a great song as far as the type, what was that? For me, it was just like, oh, he did 9mm. Oh, he did Jimmy. Oh, you know what I mean? So there was a little bit more of unexpected.
Right.
For me, so that's why the commentary and comments from everybody is so all over the place, because you have different type of crowds critiquing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it makes it interesting. It makes it fun and interesting, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that was a good one. I like that one.
From Ain't No Half Stepping, Sound of the Police.
That was cool.
It was cool. I didn't expect it, but I kind of did expect it. I think at some point they wanted to send a message. They wanted, deliver messages throughout, and that was a big song for him at one point.
It was a big song, and it was cool. KRS was having fun, man. I mean, they both were, but KRS, even though he came out with that battle, and like I said, for him to do some of the songs that he did, which in my opinion weren't necessarily battle worthy, and he just kind of went and did it anyway. Like at the end of the day, I like to see the fact that both of them had so much fun.
Right. Kane dropped the unexpected Platinum Plus.
That was, it was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right. It was okay.
KRS-One jumps back with Poetry.
That's one of my favorites. Didn't expect that was one that I didn't expect for him to do.
Right.
I was gonna put it on my list for the first show, but I left it off because, again, I was kind of going by, okay, these are my favorite songs, but does it fit? Is it gonna be, So I kind of left that one off. But I was happy as hell when he performed it.
Indeed. At this point, I'm not sure what the beat was, but Kane did a freestyle.
Yeah, he did a freestyle. I was disappointed in that one.
Yeah.
Not because of the. I heard Scratch say, let's do something for the youngins, and he threw on like I guess like a trap beat type of thing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is cool. The thing is, I've heard that freestyle that Kane did before,
Mm,
and when I heard it, it was my first time hearing it. I don't know if he's done it before that, but if you watch the Tiny Desk concert
ah,
series,
right.
that was my first time hearing that freestyle that he did. In that series, right, he does a couple of songs because if you ever watched it, they only do 5 songs or so, and that's it. So he does his few songs, and he's like, I'm done. Like that's it. I'm ready to go. He has his coat on his arm, and the crowd's like, want one more. He's like, yeah, we didn't perform one more. The band starts playing some music, and he does that freestyle. And that's the first time I've ever heard it. So it's a dope freestyle. And the way he ends it is like, I'm the Don, and walks off. I felt that the beat didn't do the freestyle justice.
Right.
I felt like it wasn't the right time for that freestyle. Not saying that he should have ended the show with it, even though after watching the way the show ended, he probably should have left that freestyle and ended it with that, because he could have ended it with that, I'm the Don, and walked off, everything said and done. So
Right.
I totally
Didn't like the way.
no.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't like
beat,
the beat choice, and I didn't like
the placement.
the placement. Play something young, play something for the young crowd, but it could, out of so many better beats that's out now for these young cats, they could have picked a better one to match
Right.
that freestyle. So that was a big disappointment for me, because I was thinking he would do that, and I was like, that's gonna make it, and it
Right.
didn't do it for me.
KRS One jumps back with "Love's Gonna Get You."
It was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I like the song and everything. It was, why not? Why not do it?
Right. Kane comes back with another victory.
That was pretty
And I
cool
think
too.
I called it about
You
this
did.
time, about this time of the round. Yeah, another victory.
You did. That was cool.
KRS One bridges over.
I was waiting for it. That was going to be that to me was the part that was going to be interesting for the whole
And we
show.
talked about that a little bit, because right after that, looks like the symphony dropped.
Was it right after
So
that one? I know he brought out, I think he brought Shantae out first, right? Because
they
he
came
called
freestyle. Maybe the bridge is over, then another victory.
somewhere in between that, he brings Roxanne Shantae out, and
Right.
he does a little, she's talking, brings out Cool V.
Right.
That was cool. And right after Roxanne Shantae walks off, Kane tells her, "Don't worry about it. I got this. Me and the brothers got this," and they go into the symphony.
How'd you feel about that moment?
I don't think it did what it was supposed to.
Man, what was up with the Cool G Rap exclusion?
I don't know. I heard, who was it? Mr. C. I caught a live with Mr. C last night. He was on live, him and Skills, and he said he wasn't, it wasn't a fact, but he heard something about, had to do with his religion or something with Cool G Rap, and something about his faith or something that didn't. I'm not sure what that is or what's happening right now that maybe didn't allow him to be able to do that.
Right.
But that's not a fact. Mr. C said something he heard that could be the reason. Either way, you know what? Even if Cool G Rap appeared, it would have made it better. But the placement of when they did it, to me, it didn't give the impact. So even if Cool G Rap was there, I would have been happy to see him on the stage and have them all there.
Right.
But the place, it didn't do it for me. It didn't deliver the punch that I thought, like we said in the first show.
Right.
Right. That would, to me, I almost thought that would be a mortality blow for KRS.
Right.
No, it didn't happen.
Did not happen.
Didn't happen. What do you think though? Did you?
Man, I'm waiting for everybody. I'm waiting for Marley to say, I don't care who's first or who's last. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for the whole, you know what I mean? It's so,
Marley didn't even make an appearance, you know.
come on, it was supposed to be set up for the knockout punch. And like you said, when Kane went on right after Craig G, I was like, what is this? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
what
Like,
happened?
yeah, it kind of fell apart. It was there. And like you said, it just didn't deliver the
No,
punch it was supposed to. You know what I mean?
nah. You know, it's just one of those things. Like, it's good to see, but again, if you've had the opportunity and haven't been able to catch them, you know, do it at other shows, it felt more incomplete. You know what I mean? Like, it
It's
just,
very incomplete. It was
yeah,
very incomplete.
yeah. So this is around, I think, around the time where, for me, I think the whole show starts to go a little weird.
Yeah, especially when Buckshot comes out.
I don't know I don't even know what to say about that one.
He tried to take advantage of a moment, which he probably should have, but his freestyle was a little off and came kind of
You talking about
awkward.
when he walked up to Kane and I
Yeah,
couldn't tell if he was freestyling or talking to him.
it was a freestyle talk, but it was just awkward and you know, it just didn't come off right. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't get that part at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like, oh, he's freestyling, and then it seemed like he's just talking to him, and then he's freestyling again. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't
Did
get
you
it.
like the part of coming out to how many MCs though?
For
Buckshot.
I like the way I like the way. Yes and no. When KRS started doing that the way he brought out Buckshot, I thought he would bring somebody else out. You know, I'm listening to the parts, right?
The hip hop versus rap joint.
Yeah. So I'm listening to all the little parts. And I'm like, oh, who's gonna, you know, I thought maybe Meth would come out. Um,
Mm,
you know, it was good. It was cool. I think if Buckshot would have kind of chilled, just did his thing, and then
and
yeah.
yeah,
So there was a
yeah.
few. That's what I mean. At this point, there's a lot of moments where it's like, oh, and then like, huh? Like,
Right,
it just
right.
started getting really weird at this point.
So let me ask you about at this point, how are you feeling about the relationships with their respective DJs at this point? It just seems like there's a disconnect all the way around with Scratch wanting to do this and uh Kid Capri. Like it just seemed really
I
like
didn't,
nobody knew what was going on. You know what I mean?
like I said, I feel like somebody was following the script that they were supposed to do, and somebody else didn't or wasn't aware of it or something. I mean, that's what it looks like,
Right.
you know, or they didn't know at what point in time, you know, at what point they were supposed to do it. Again, that was one of the parts that was very awkward and weird to me. And unfortunately, right, when you're watching the show, it just seemed that KRS was just, I mean, not KRS, that DJ Scratch was kind of trying to bully Kid Capri, I guess you could say, right? Like trying to lure him into his world. But I'm thinking like we know that Kid Capri is not that kind of a DJ.
Right.
So I
Right.
didn't. So that's why it looked even more like you're just trying to take advantage of a situation. It came, you know,
Right.
he came across like I'm trying to show off. I'm trying to, you know, you find out later that there was a whole thing that they were supposed to do. So I get it now. You know what I mean? But it didn't come across like that, unfortunately.
No, not at
And
all.
then Kid Capri, now did he get so upset that he started freestyling? Like with
I think he did. There was something said, and it just seemed like he spontaneously said a freestyle, and then it sounded like he
and
forgot the
he
words.
fumbled, yeah, he fumbled it.
Yes, but
But now
you
in Kid
know,
Capri's defense, Kid Capri does rhyme. I mean, I'm not saying
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a,
yeah, 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 yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Kane or but if you bought his mixtapes, if you bought his stuff, he does get down and he does rhyme, and he's not bad at it.
Right.
So, but again, he seemed like he was just so. I again, maybe we're wrong, but to me, the way it looked, he got so fed up and annoyed with Scratch that he's like, you know what? I can't do what you do, but you can't do this. And he tried to rhyme because he knows Scratch can't rhyme. Or at least I've never seen Scratch rhyme.
Right.
Yeah, that was awkward. They should have left
Right.
that. They should have just stuck to playing the music.
Right. I think at this point, 9mm and Yeah comes on.
I was okay with it. I wasn't like, um, oh yeah, I kind of like I didn't expect him to do that to begin with. The fact that he did it was okay, but I could have done without that one.
Right.
And 9mm again, that was one that I was surprised at. I liked the song. It was cool that he did it. But again, this just to me, this is where it goes weird. Like they came out so strong, and
So
then you're
strong.
just kind of. I didn't think this was the time to just be playing these songs.
Right.
It just
Right.
didn't make sense. Like they went. I thought they would start off not so at a high level and build it up. They went the opposite.
Right. Right.
They came out with the cannons and ended up with the BB gun. So I don't know.
Exactly. Another awkward moment, the Mad-ism joint.
Okay.
As far as I don't know. I just felt like Hakeem Green's rhyming was just a little
Weird.
weird. His whole aura was weird.
There was something he was doing weird with his voice.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was
Great
about.
song, of course. Great song, of course. But something was just a little off with
Hakeem.
Hakeem. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't again now. No, but I've seen him perform
And I've heard those free, like you heard that Kane freestyle. Like this is
yeah.
the third time this year that I heard that Hakeem Green when the music cuts off.
Yeah,
He says his little, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you know,
which is cool.
it is what
I mean, that's fine because I always say, you know what, like again, there were two different type of crowds, in my opinion.
Right.
You have us and a lot of us that have seen them perform and do a lot of these things, but you have a lot that haven't. So for some people, it was new. So, you know, that's cool. But and that part was fine. It's just again, like I said, I don't know what he was doing with his voice, that he was like he was doing some weird thing with his voice. Yeah, it didn't sound right. So that again, that was like, which one did we just say before? The symphony didn't have that impact. I thought Mad-ism would have a stronger impact. It didn't. So
yeah, there was just certain moments that could have been set up and placed much better. A lot of filler. I think a lot of filler on both sides. More on KRS-One. You know, I just didn't expect like the poetry, Sound of the Police, Love's Gonna Get You. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Black Cop. All great songs. I just didn't expect.
Yeah, not
a lot of those.
Not for the scenario that we thought it was gonna, you know, the way it was gonna play out. Yeah.
Right.
Eric B. They brought Eric B. out on stage.
But did you peep that MCM outfit that Kane was supposed to wear just like that? Like, how has Eric B. got the MCM? And
I saw Swiss Beats. Did he have it on in the crowd? I don't know, but there's pictures of Swiss Beats with the BDP,
the black and
like
white
the Jack of Spades type of.
Yeah, man.
That's what. So Eric B had the MCM and Swiss Beats had the
and even Fat Joe. It looked like Fat Joe held up a Eric B jacket in the crowd.
He did.
Yeah, so
which
it's
also
like,
they look like a Dapper Dan type of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, yeah, they had the right idea.
They had it right. They were on the same page we were on, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think at this point in the show, I start to yawn a little bit. There's some freestyling going on. I don't even remember how it ends. It just kind of ended.
It ended very weird.
Right.
So something else that I didn't like about, I love the way the stage was set up, but I didn't like the fact that, you know, when Kane was on stage, KRS is walking all the way to the back. Like you don't even see him, and then vice versa. You know, they're going all the way. Like, I'm not saying they had to be right on the same stage, but why do they have to go so far away? Like it would have gave a better impact to see, like you're watching the person rhyming, and you just get to see the reaction of the other one behind them. You know what
Right.
I mean? Just to,
Right.
but they're like walking off and coming back. I didn't like that. So that
Right.
the reason why I mentioned that is because the way it ended, Kane is walked all the way to the back and is standing there. And then KRS does a song that I'm like, I've never heard this song.
Knock him out the box, Chris, or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
nah.
assuming it's a new song.
Right.
I've never heard it before.
Nah.
If I look it up and listen to it, I'm sure I probably would enjoy it. But I didn't understand the way they transitioned into it because I didn't know, okay, it's over. I didn't know like they were getting ready to close it off. It, like I said, from I would say midpoint, right? The show just starts getting weird and awkward.
Weird and awkward. It just seems like there's a disconnect.
Something.
You know, there's KRS-One saying, nah, forget that, just do it, you know, like skip over something. Kane's on the same page, like, nah, forget that. No, we're not doing that. Like there was just, I think things were missing. Things weren't going according to plan.
And that's
and
how
it just
that's how they ended the show. I mean, he does that song and he ends it off by, you know, kind of saying, because I never heard the song, but in it, he's doing like the Slick Rick part.
right.
Okay? There's like a knock him out the box, and then he just says, good night. And that's it. And you see Kane kind of still standing there and he just walks off. And that's like, how do you not come back and hug it? Something,
and
man.
At some point, I think self-destruction is about to play, and it never fully.
Matter of fact, yeah, it starts to play, and I think that's when is that when they went into
he's like,
Madism?
forget, maybe he's like,
I believe he started to play that. I can't remember now if that was before he brings out Buckshot or if it's when Madism, but whichever one, it was before one of those two features, right?
Right.
I'm thinking Self-Destruction is about to come on. There are so many artists that you could have brought out as a feature off of that song. Daddy O, Brooklyn, Daddy O, MC Light, Brooklyn.
Man, yeah.
You know, or even any, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be that it's somebody from Brooklyn, but I mean, those are two choices right there that would have been like, wow. Chuck D.
Chuck D. Yep.
Kumo, like, yeah, there's so many people, and you bring out, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Again, Impact, that would have been for me.
And that would have been, I don't know. You think that would have rivaled or been in the same capacity? Symphony? Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Sure. Hands down, for sure.
Wouldn't that have been a great?
You could have even had, because wasn't Heavy D?
Yeah.
Right?
Heavy D was in it.
Man, play his vocals even. Rest in peace, you know, play, like, you could have played around with that so much.
They could have cut out some, if they had like a time limit or whatever on the show, they could have cut out so much just so you could squeeze those in as the grand finales.
Dougie Fresh. I mean, Dougie Fresh just makes an appearance in the video. But what I'm saying is,
right?
Bring him out. Just bring him out during that song.
Well, how great would that have been?
Let him rock. Let him rock.
Right. Like everybody, like you do the symphony and everybody just stays out there.
Yeah.
Then you go into Self-Destruction, and at the end, you've got all these hip hop greats on the stage. Like
they should have closed it out that way. That would have been.
They shot a 3-pointer, man, and it was an air ball. Yeah. There was a lot of dunks and a lot of spectacular things that went on, but yeah, I agree. I mean, they started off great. I couldn't ask for any better way to start off, but the ending I thought would have just, you know, set us on cloud 9 for the rest of the night.
That would have been for a long time to talk about too.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Know? So I don't know. Overall, right? I guess we can give our overall rating. It was great for hip hop. It was great for, you know, especially for us, for the golden era, if you want to call it that.
Right.
It was good to see both of them on stage, right? Supposedly they've never really done this type of thing. There was a lot of plus, I think the
Right.
only down part was the putting, the curation of it, the putting together of how it was
Right.
going to play out. I think
Right.
that was a little shaky. I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed with that part.
Yeah. Could have been
Overall, great though.
yeah, overall, you really can't, like I said, Kane stuck to his guns. He knew what he had to do. When I read the comments, nobody said Kane got washed. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, no,
They
no.
they
Definitely
might have
not.
been like KRS-One 163, Kane 160. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was there. You know what I mean? Like nobody's looking at Kane like give it up. You know what I mean?
It actually was pretty even because I feel that they both had great moments and they both had dud moments. And I think the dud moments were even on both ends. It's not like one had more than the other. They literally, this one threw a dud, he threw a dud. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not like it
Right.
was, oh man, Kane put out, did 3 songs that were whack and compared to 2 or 1 of even the moments, like we were talking about the Kane's freestyle over the trap beat, so even those type of things, um, it was even. It was even all around.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but man, Kane's sharp, bro.
Yeah.
Kane's sharp.
Overall, one of the best verses you've seen to this point?
Man, that's an interesting question. One of the best as far as I got to see one of my favorite art, well, 2 of them, but one of my favorite, which is
Right.
KRS. So that was I didn't think that would ever happen.
Mm,
Before when they were trying to get him to do it, and he kept saying, "Nah, no," and so I never thought it would happen. So that was cool. Uh,
right.
Talking about that, let me ask you this though: knowing how Versus started, right, on Instagram and the way they were doing it to where it is now. Do you like where it is now? Do you like the fact that it's on a big stage now? Um,
Absolutely, because it's giving these artists a good look as far as the younger generation. Like I said about going back doing your homework, I bet KRS-One sales have probably been the highest they've been streaming wise, in a long time. People are going back and buying edutainment, going back and buying Criminal Minded. Same with Kane. So I bet that revenue, came pretty quick last night as far as they mentioned something about everybody that we've seen on stage with them or they're going on a tour together.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's just a great platform to, pursue your career if it's been, say, stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen that with the Dipset, or I'm sorry, with the Locks. Like,
Okay.
I guarantee their tag has went up significantly since that Versus. So, yeah, I definitely like where it went from and where
Yeah.
it went to at
I
this point.
I agree. I do too. I think they've done a good job as far as trying to keep it to where you don't feel that it's like they went, I don't know, not commercial, but they still maintain that feel of what it was when it was on Instagram.
Yeah,
Even though it's on a big stage now,
right.
but you don't feel like they sold out. If that's I don't.
No, not at
You
all.
know
I
what I
don't get that
mean?
feeling at all.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
I
Not at
I
all.
don't get it at all.
Nope.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
Swiss Beats and Timbaland and the team that they have, they've done a great job with the verses. I love the fact that a lot of the artists that participate, they actually benefit from. It's not, you know what I mean, as far as money goes. That's great. And like you said, now it's opened up platforms for them to be able to tour. Um, Man,
People to go back and get their older material.
you
You
talk
know what I
about
mean?
trying to find a way to be able to give back to artists, man. Swiss Beats and Timbaland
Absolutely.
definitely did a great job at this, man. And we're entertained. We're
Yeah,
entertained, man.
yeah. I
At the end of
couldn't
the
wait.
day, even like, take man, like they had the one with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And when would you really get a chance to see something like that without having to go anywhere? You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Nah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see who's up
I
next for
think I
Versus.
think Bust is in the mix somewhere.
Did you see? No, did you catch the night before the
He
verses with
said something
Super
about
Cat?
Karis. He said something about Karis one. I'll see you tomorrow, something like that.
Well, he got on stage and he said, "Find me a worthy appointment, KRS. I'll see you tomorrow." And I don't think he was saying like, you know, put him up against KRS.
Mm,
I didn't take it that way, but he
right,
definitely said, "Find him a worthy opponent," and he dropped the mic.
right. That would be interesting. And I don't know who, you know what I mean? I'd have to sleep on it as far as somebody from that time frame, because I don't want to see like a Rakim versus a Busta. It just wouldn't make sense.
No, no. Hey, you know
Yeah, I mean,
something? Not for nothing. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't have mind seeing a Buster and KRS. Only because I mean that just energy wise.
right,
Show,
right,
you know, the stage performance and energy and that crowd back and forth. You know what I
right,
mean? Not catalog, you know, forget like the catalog or whatever, but to see
right,
them
right,
two on
right,
stage going back and forth,
right.
that would be,
Dope.
yeah.
I can see that for
But
sure.
we'll see. All right. So overall, it was great.
Overall, man, I'm loving it.
And I want to mention the fact that I think I would like to pat ourselves on the back. I think we did pretty good at the
Absolutely.
selection. We were pretty
Absolutely.
on point.
We had some surprises. You hit me with a few. I hit you with a few. I didn't think mine would come to fruition, but they did. And I'm sure Nice and Smooth are thanking him at this point.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, you knocked it out the park. A lot of your predictions came true, and it was exciting. You know, when you mentioned certain songs and they came on, I was excited
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, man, he called it right there.
Same
You
thing for
know,
you. Yeah, yeah. Nice and smooth, and a couple of others that you mentioned. And
yeah,
not only the songs, but even like where, like, you know, do they do it early, do it later?
right.
We're pretty good. So for everybody listening and watching this one, make sure you watch the first one, our pregame for the KRS Big Daddy Kane verses, and then you'll see, and you'll be able to put the two together. And I think you will become a believer in us.
Absolutely.
Hey, and talk about the title of our show, right? Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. Man, we saw that last night, right?
Absolutely.
Two of the best changing of the guards going back and forth, right?
That's the definition.
Protecting
Yes.
the hip hop culture, man. So sincere once again, man. It's been a pleasure.
Always. Can't look forward to the next episode.
Number 2 in the books.
Yes, sir. Everybody, be sure to like, subscribe, share. We appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been episode number 2, Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. I'm the journalist Sincere.
Uncle Lee over here.
No doubt. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.